Of people who don't understand. This is a perfect example. Let me have the caller hop off, and I have a story I want to bring up.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Brendan, can you let me cue it up, and then let's do that audio about Joe Biden and Antifa.com.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So yesterday at a press conference, Donald Trump was asked a question by a reporter, and I use that word half-heartedly, I guess, with the far right wing, I should add, cable news network OANN. And she had a very important question to ask Donald Trump at this press conference, with a pandemic going on and mass unemployment and mass evictions on the horizon. This is what she asks at this press conference to the President of the United States.
I'd like to highlight a kind of odd situation. In the last hour or so, if you Googled Antifa.com, it would take you straight to Joe Biden's website, his official campaign website. Odd situation. We don't know who's behind that. But it raises an interesting leadership question. Should Joe Biden, the Democrat Party, Kamala Harris, should they publicly denounce the Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization?
They should. I think they're afraid to. It's in my book. It's virtually a part of their campaign. Antifa.
We could stop it there.
Gee, I don't know,
because we've discussed over and over again Trump and him claiming that the anti-fascists are the actual fascists and they're the terrorist organization. Good people on both sides started even there back in 2017. But let's focus on the question that was being asked at this press conference. So yesterday, a bunch of conservatives noticed, and this is probably where she saw it, a bunch of conservatives online noticed that the domain name, Antifa.com, forwarded to the website for Joe Biden's presidential campaign. Oh my God, a scandal. Can you believe that? Does this mean that the Democrats or Joe Biden purchased Antifa.com to have it do that? Or did Antifa, obviously Antifa.com must be the official homepage for Antifa. Did they explicitly come out and endorse Joe Biden for president? You just literally go on Twitter, on Facebook. This was everywhere. I wrote an article debunking it, and the traffic to it was massive coming from Google because just how many people were searching this connection. And this is a perfect example of people not understanding technology and then assuming whatever they want to believe based on the ideas they already hold, and then spreading their false information, their misinfo. Anyone who owns a domain can redirect their domain name to any web page. You don't need permission or a connection to anyone at that other website to do so. For example, we can, if we want, redirect majority.fm to the David Pakman show. We would never do that, but we could. And and the idea that there would be some sort of connection just based on that is ridiculous. So I looked into the Antifa.com domain, and quite frankly, we don't know who's behind it. Can a Biden supporter own Antifa.com? Sure. Can a Trump supporter own Antifa.com and have done this redirect to create this very controversy we saw? So this could be the discourse for the next 24 hours, that Antifa and Joe Biden are in cahoots together to try to stop Donald Trump. Anyone could redirect this domain. The domain name has who is privacy, which means we can't see who is the registrant for this domain name. What I have been able to find out is that it was formerly an Antifa, an actual anti-fascist news website back in the late 90s, early 2000s. At some point, the domain was not renewed and dropped. It was registered again in 2002. And since 2002, up until around July of this year, there was a for sale page on the Antifa.com website. Last I checked, it was on sale for $37,000. I don't know if any anti-fascists have $37,000 lying around. And when I say anti-fascists, in this case, I'm
Joe Biden.
People, George Soros notwithstanding.
Right. I'm referring to the people.
We're going to pick that up. Yeah, website. We got a good deal on it. I love that website. It's my favorite website. I learned a lot from there. Antifa, it's a defensive posture.
I mean, Charlottesville was one of the reasons he cited running for president, and specifically stating those brave anti-fascists who stood up to amazing, right? But
keep our name out of your mouth.
Right. But then at the end of May, suddenly a website popped up on this on Antifa.com mentioning the Black Lives Matter protests that erupted after the murder of George Floyd. And on the website was a basic landing page telling people to come join Antifa. And there will be news coming up on how to join the Antifa ranks.
Oh, boy.
Now, I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like it's owned by anyone who actually considers themselves anti-fascist, because if you don't partake in the fake news surrounding Antifa, you'll know that there is no membership to Antifa because there's no actual Antifa group. Antifa is literally anyone who wants to consider themselves anti-fascist. Yes, it's a broad movement that's been around since the Second World War. But again, there's no membership. There's no official way to join. You could just declare yourself Antifa if you'd like. There's no one to stop you.
If you want to join Antifa, go to Joe 30330.
Right.
I mean, there are groups of people that do anti-fascist organizing, and a lot of it has to happen underground because some of it is totally legal and some of it might be a little less legal. And these are groups that are really being investigated by the FBI because they're trying to crack down on any kind of subversive political activity. But they're typically a lot tougher to penetrate. Right? They don't just have a sign-up form on a website for the reason that the feds are constantly trying to infiltrate and spy on them.
Yeah, I heard somebody...
There's a specific organization too. It's not like, they're just going around saying, hey, come join Antifa. No, they're specific, the local, whatever anti-fascist group. That's different from, there is no national or global Antifa group. There's no parent organization called Antifa that runs the smaller local Antifa franchises. It's just that this doesn't exist.
I mean, there are official groups in Europe. I just found out. It's much less diffuse there, perhaps because of less government repression, although that's not really something I want to bet on at this point in time, what with everything that's going on in Europe.
I've heard some people go to sort of meetings for Antifa groups in New York here and said, there's some people I guess you can probably maybe meet there, but it also feels like half the people might be cops.
Yeah. I mean, you got to assume that somebody's listening whenever you communicate electronically. In person is much safer, but I mean, it happens. I've seen it happen. It's nuts. We just found out a little while ago about some people who had infiltrated the New York City ultra-left during Occupy because they were testifying in a J20 trial against the protesters who were hit with some very severe charges.
All that money sloshing around. I mean, it's doable financially, so why wouldn't they do it?
Yeah. Oh, but back to Joe Biden. Does Trump actually think this is going to work? Associating, just trying to paint Antifa as this paramilitary wing of the Democratic Party, when Joe Biden just went on the record the other day saying that he wanted to prosecute anarchists. Do we have that quote?
Right. He did say that.
And Kamala Harris is literally a cop. She has a very long record of supporting punitive law and order policies, like sending parents to jail for truancy, fighting against early release or clemency programs, fighting for the ability to arrest minors and turn them over to ICE. Does anyone actually believe that these people support anti-fascist organizing?
Well, this is the play here because they're the right-leaning pollster Rasmussen had a poll that found that the majority of Americans have a negative opinion of Antifa after the protests. I guess you could separate. I guess the public has separated Antifa from the broader Black Lives Matter movement, which actually has majority positive views from most Americans. And I bet the play is here. I really am pushing for everyone to go on Twitter or Facebook and just type in Joe Biden and Antifa.com together. And you will see the conservative reaction to this. And no doubt the Trump campaign, along with OANN, saw this and are going to play off of this. Conservatives are acting like this is some huge scandal. They were like acting, they were doing like selfie videos of them being shocked, of them actually going, they're like one of those like YouTube reaction videos of them typing in Antifa.com and the website popping up being Joe Biden's campaign page, and their reaction is just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Yeah, they're not going to say anything about this. Oh, let me do it again so you can see it again. So like, literally, they are up in arms about this as if this should end. Like Joe Biden needs to drop out apparently because someone decided to literally log into their domain name registrant administration panel and type in joebiden.com in the redirect input. Literally, that's all you have to do to redirect your domain to any website of your choosing. I mean, it's incredible to see. It's what happens when people who don't understand what they're talking about just take it and run with it anyway, just so it fits into their already pre-existing ideological beliefs.
Yeah, well, he's playing to the base on this one. I don't know how many swing voters are going to be convinced by the fact that Antifa.com redirects the Joe Biden website. That said, we ourselves have a redirect from cucknation.org, or I guess it goes to TMBS now. And, as it turns out, we are, in fact, a cuck nationalist organization. So, sometimes it's true.
I just found mixed cement and milkshakes.com goes to Joe Biden also. So.
Wow, someone's really, really keeping busy these days.